I was sitting in the audience when my name appeared on the screen behind my boss. It was one of those all-hands meetings scheduled at the worst possible time of day, late afternoon, when everyone's already tired but pretending to be alert. The lights were dimmed, the projector humming softly, rows of folding chairs packed too close together. I remember thinking about how uncomfortable the seat was and whether I'd left my laptop unlocked at my desk. My boss had been talking for a while about a project that went sideways the previous quarter. Nothing dramatic, just the usual corporate language, misalignment, process gaps, learning opportunities. I barely registered it. That project was already closed, and as far as I knew, everyone involved had moved on. Then he said my name. Not loudly. Not accusingly. Just casually, like it was the most natural word in the sentence. I looked up as the slide changed. At the top, in clean black text, was my full name. Under it, bullet points. Final approval granted without escalation. Risk flagged but not documented. Single point of failure. For a second, I honestly thought it was a mistake. That maybe there was another employee with the same name. But the details were too specific. They described the exact moment, months ago, when my boss had leaned into my cubicle and told me to push the decision through because leadership wanted speed, not paperwork. He didn't look at me while he talked. He faced the room, clicking through the slides slowly, explaining how the situation had been contained and how important it was to be transparent about accountability. He said it wasn't about blame, but about clarity. I waited for him to add context. To mention the approvals I'd asked for. The emails I'd sent. The meeting where he'd said, if anything comes up, it's on me. None of that appeared. The slide stayed up longer than the others. I could feel people around me realizing, one by one, that this wasn't hypothetical. Someone 2 seats away shifted. I heard a quiet inhale behind me. No one turned fully around, but I could feel the awareness spreading, like heat. When the slide finally changed, the meeting just continued. Budget updates. Timeline adjustments. A joke about the coffee machine. My name was never mentioned again. Afterward, the room emptied faster than usual. People avoided walking out next to me. A coworker I'd trained from day one gave me a tight smile and said, "Rough day, huh," without waiting for an answer. Back at my desk, my inbox had already changed. I was removed from the project distribution list. A meeting I was supposed to lead the next morning was reassigned. There was a new calendar invite from HR titled check-in. I emailed my boss, keeping it neutral, asking why my name had been used publicly and what context had been shared with leadership. He replied hours later, saying the slide had been reviewed by multiple stakeholders and that it was important to own outcomes visibly. That night, I scrolled through old emails, finding the messages where he told me to move forward, to trust him, to not overcomplicate things. I realized none of those had been forwarded. None of them were in the room when my name appeared on that screen. By the end of the week, people spoke to me carefully, like I was already a cautionary tale. And I understood why my name had been there. It was cleaner to show one person than to explain how the decision had really been made.